Okay.
I'm okay. It's hot in here. How are you not hot? Aren't you
It's not
hot?
hot.
Holy, I am dying. Like I'm just in a tank top. You're in a hoodie. You're not hot.
No. On a, on a lot of levels. No.
Aw, no.
Um, yeah, no, it's actually it's okay, but I wouldn't say it's hot where we are right now.
I haven't been feeling good, so maybe that's why.
Could be.
And you're in an enclosed space.
It is.
We
Yeah.
get to share.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great that I'm dodging illnesses the past 2 weeks. Now the other one's sick with something again.
Mhm. You actually have been. It's amazing.
Yeah. I don't understand how. I mean, I drink Purell. More, I did it as an emotional coping mechanism, but I'm seeing the physical benefits of it now.
Isn't that something Trump actually recommended?
Yeah. Drink bleach to kill COVID. And he got elected a second time. So for today's topic, this is a love episode. This is all about what's coming up here in a few days. So we have a daughter. We have two daughters, but we have one daughter in particular who loves the fact that her birthday falls on Valentine's Day. Loves it. Couldn't get enough of it.
He says
Yeah.
with a straight face, she hates it.
So my question is, as parents, what can you do? And this, it's not really related to Maya. Like we joke around about it. She's not a super big fan, and it's tricky because it's a day that she's seeing now that her friends can't come out because they're with their boyfriends, and it happens to be her 18th birthday, and so this is an emotional day for a lot of people. But my question is, to take that specificity out of it, is how do you make Valentine's Day special for your kids while still making it special for your spouse? And how do you do it regardless of gender? Like,
Hmm.
because that's, I think, an
Hmm.
important piece of it as well is there is a perception that Valentine's Day is a man's responsibility to facilitate and make it wonderful, make it awesome, right? Which is fine. I think that's an important part of the relationship. But how do you make it that it's a balanced day for both you and your partner, and then ultimately for your kids?
So which do you want to start with?
Let's start with how do you make it special for kids,
Yeah.
and specifically gender non-specific.
What did your parents
No,
do anything for Valentine's ever?
no. Dad would bring stuff home from mom, and that was it. There was never any inclusion of kids in the whole process. But, and not that I think kids need to, but I think there's an opportunity for kids to be taught the importance of a day like that, regardless of whether it's Valentine's Day. Like you can make St. Patrick's Day special, right? If
Yeah.
you put the right lessons behind it. But yeah, we never had anything like that growing up.
That makes sense because you've treated it like a Hallmark holiday and haven't really put a lot of stock. Whereas for me, Valentine's is such a big deal. And it does make me sad. The other day, Maya was close to tears. She's asking her sister, "Can you send me a candygram?" Because she's only ever gotten one, and that was from me.
Hmm.
And I wanted to do it year after year, but as a surprise,
Hmm.
like, or like a secret.
Yeah.
She didn't, well, obviously, I guess she did know it was for me, but I had put it as a secret. But she always, after that, she's like, "No, you cannot send me, blah, blah, blah." She didn't, she's like, "I don't want any." But now she's saying she did. And I think it's because her birthday, she always got a birthday card
Hmm.
instead. She never got a Valentine's recognition, right? And so I do think that's important. From a young age, I do like using those opportunities because we get lost in the daily grind of busyness.
Yeah.
And so even though we should be showing love and showing our, all of that stuff throughout the year, I do find it's really important to even St. Patrick's Day. We do actually do
Hmm.
stuff for that too, right? Um, is that where we do tricks? Oh no, April
April
Fools.
Fools.
April Fools, we do tricks on each other,
Yeah.
which I love, right? But it just gives us something out of the ordinary. It breaks those daily grinds, which is so important for well-being. When you look at the research, you're supposed to do something spontaneous and different that you wouldn't normally do. So when the kids are younger, any surprise will kind of blow their mind. Like, this is the best thing
Yeah.
ever. We used to partly my ADHD, no, probably all my ADHD, we just still would have the Christmas tree up. And
Yeah.
so we would decorate the Christmas tree with Valentine's. And yeah, we would, but then like house decoration. So the decoration piece was huge. And Maya loved that.
Hmm.
And when she didn't realize it was Valentine's, everywhere she went, she thought people decorated for her birthday.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time going into Safeway, she was 3 years old, and she's like, "Oh, they decorated my birthday." And I'm like, "Yes." And you get a free cookie because I never let them know that there's free cookies at grocery stores. So that was the first time we're like, you get a free cookie for your birthday, like just really making it about her birthday special. Um, but it is tricky because now that oh, but that was before Willow. It
Yeah.
did have to change
Yeah.
with Willow. And so it was a separate, now we're doing Valentine stuff. I think we picked the 15th when they were little,
Yeah.
didn't we? We
Yeah.
just changed the date completely
Yeah.
just to separate it out. Um, now it's, we don't make it the big holiday that it is. You know, they'll both get a Valentine's card. Now that I think of it, I do just give a birthday card for Maya. I don't give Valentine's, but I give her birthday presents and Valentine's
Separately. Yeah.
treats. The card is just a birthday. Uh, so we separate that way. But yeah, I think as a family, as they get older, it's collaboration, right? What do you want to do for Valentine's? What would be special for you to mark that? Let's brainstorm a bunch of different ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are my initial thoughts. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I know. I think that's part of it for sure, is making sure that they understand the recognition piece of it. It's trickier for us because it is a day that's completely separate importance. But I think, yeah, it's understanding, trying to make it special for them in some way. Specifically to boys, though, not that we have boys, but what would you think would be important in that context around Valentine's Day? Take our situation out of it, right? And
Mhm.
just as parents that have kids and a boy, how should they approach a Valentine's Day?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, what we give the kids might differ, but how, like the celebration, it's just doing something special that they find special, regardless of sex and gender, I think, right? What
Mhm.
would they find special? Even now, I'm just thinking, uh, hopefully Maya won't listen to this, but for Valentine's this week, I'm I booked us a high tea
Mhm.
because she loves, like the proper English high tea. And so I've done that. And that specifically for her is super special.
Yeah.
For Willow, not at all.
Yeah.
Right? She might like the idea, but as soon as she's in it, she's like, okay, can we go do something else? So it would be the same thing I would say, with the boys, it's to do something that they would find more meaningful. I don't know. As a boy, what would you have loved as a kid?
I don't know. I don't know because it was never presented to me as anything other than an obligation,
Yeah.
right? Like there was no lesson about it being a shared day of love. It really wasn't. It was, it was a boy's responsibility to do this for a girl. Simple as that.
Oh, wow.
Like that's, and so
Did you give out like Valentine's cards exchange with
mhm. At
peers
school,
at
yeah, but I
school?
mean, it was
Okay.
all the everybody gets one and everybody gets one back, right?
Right.
There was no individual component to it. And save for a couple that I might have gotten from a girl when I was little directly to me, there was nothing else. Valentine's wasn't anything that was celebrated as or positioned as a shared thing outside of school. School always has to be whatever. But yeah, I never saw it as a day that was meant to put any sort of love my way. Simple as that.
Wow. That's sad.
But that's a global response. You look at all the advertising, you
Yeah,
look at everything. It's never about the man feeling loved,
that's true.
ever.
That's true.
Right. And so that's why I asked the question around, because I'm sure a lot of people still don't. Right. Well, we got to get something for your mom. We got to get something for your sister. Okay, cool. Right. So how do you change that so that it's a day, or can you, or should it be? I guess is the question, because it really
Mhm.
isn't positioned as that for the most part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there's bigger systemic things, but as a family, I mean, it is about showing love. And so maybe it is gratitude, right? How do we show love and appreciation for important people in our life?
Hmm.
And so maybe it's doing a breakdown. Who are all of the important people in our life? And what can we do to show gratitude with each other in the family? I would say maybe you're doing the love language test, right?
Yeah.
There's a little love language quiz. I'll see if I can. I don't think they still have it anymore, but there used to be one for teens, one for kids.
Yeah.
But essentially looking at that, what's your love language? How will you know on this day or any day that,
Yeah. Someone loves you.
how do you
Yeah.
want me to show that? So I think collaboratively doing that, but then brainstorming for other important, like I'm just thinking in our life,
Hmm.
our parents, my grandpa, maybe there's important, friends that we want to sort of appreciate too. So maybe it's just showing that, right? Using that as a day of gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah. Maybe even just identifying with the kids who they want to show that to, right? And then figure out, because I think that's the other thing as well, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be, I mean, yes, the family is an important piece of it, but there could be others that they want to recognize as well, right? You mentioned your grandfather. Well, who else do they want to potentially reach out to, and
Yeah.
how do they want to do it?
Teachers and things like
Yeah,
that.
totally.
Because I think that we need more of that, not just I get to receive and what I'm going to get for your birthday. Cool.
Hmm.
It's all about you. You're going
Yeah.
to receive whatever, if you are. Um, but yeah, using this day, how do we show our love and appreciation for other people? Having that shift.
Yeah. I think that's an important distinction.
Mhm. Anything else just for boys, being a boy yourself in terms of ideas for,
Um, no, I think it comes down to the individual family, right? Because everybody expresses love differently. So I don't know that there's any one thing, but I think it's important for boys to understand that they are loved. I don't know that that happens a lot, right? And beyond a certain age, I should say. Like when boys are little, absolutely, right? They're mama's boys and they're constantly, but there is a shift at some point where that no longer happens. And whether it's the boy's choice or a societal choice or whatever, I think it's important to find a way to recognize them and similar to topics we talked about before, understand how to show them that they are loved in a way that isn't conditional on what they provide or what they do. Because I
Mhm.
think that over time is what a lot of men end up falling into.
Right.
So I think that would be the lesson that if you're trying to use Valentine's as an opportunity to do that, I think a lot of what you covered already does that, right? Like talk to them about what they want, talk to them about how they would feel in a certain way, and then try and figure out a way to celebrate it on a bigger stage on Valentine's Day, but then incorporate parts of that throughout the year to consistently validate that it isn't just that day
Yeah.
is the other piece too, right? Like without a consistent kind of overarching practice, um, yeah, it's important for them to understand that that's again, it's not just a single day thing. It's not just contingent on what they do. It's a constant thing. Because I think overall, a lot of what we talk about on a societal stage kind of level with what we see and how people interact, I think to a certain degree that plays a large role in it, right? There's conditions placed on everybody, not just boys, but conditions placed on everybody. And the more you can show unconditional positives to someone, the more you'll see that come back.
Yeah. So now then for the adults, and I think some families might not even celebrate it at
Yeah,
all, and that's
totally. And
totally
that's totally
okay.
fine. Yeah.
But it's still, I think there's still a lesson here. How do we show that love and appreciation for others? Uh, and some might just focus on the parents. This is our
Yeah,
time to show our love, which I think is important too,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
To
I don't think
model
there's a
that.
right answer to any of
No,
this. Yeah.
no,
Yeah. Yeah.
but to model that, we do focus so much on you and we love you guys, but we also need to make sure, we're carving out this time. But let's focus on the adults now. So
Yeah.
that was the kids.
Yeah. So that's the question then um how do or what is a way for parents to continually, if they are looking at it from a family perspective, still have that separation, right?
Mhm.
Because you're right, it's absolutely important that that still happens. So you mentioned earlier, right? Like with Maya's birthday being on Valentine's Day, we shifted Valentine's Day, right, to a different day. Um, that gets harder as they get older and they get busier and we're all over the place, but it's still important to try and recognize it in some way. Like this year, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Willow and I are out of town for
Yeah.
Valentine's and like for the whole weekend, right? So how do we make it so that it's still special or still noted or still there's something there, even though physically I won't even be in the same city,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and you're right. Like, I think we did lose, don't do, for you and I, we don't do Valentine's because then we're just like, oh, we'll just do our anniversary, which is just a couple
Just around the
weeks.
corner. Yeah.
Yeah, it's two
Yeah.
weeks later, right? But even that we've thrown to the wayside. We don't even really do because that's the busyness. And so
Mhm.
I think it's just coming back to making that a priority, like just
Yeah.
making sure what are we going to do, make a plan, right? However you mark it, maybe you are marking it with your family. What are you, but there you're still, we're showing love and appreciation, but it's not just to the kids.
Yeah.
It's for everybody, right? It might be extended friends and family, but it's to everyone. How do each of us as individual members show our love and appreciation for everybody else in the family?
Yeah.
Right. So I think doing that. But you're right. I just look back and it is like I just want to be cherished, but I never think about you. Like, how do you want to be cherished? And because I will admit, fall into that,
But that, and that's
that you do something romantic, right?
yeah, but and that's fine. And to be honest, I don't know that I know how to even answer that because it's never been a question I've ever tried to answer, right?
Mhm.
Um,
But sorry, I'll say what I was going to
no,
say
no, say
after.
what you're gonna say.
No, no, go ahead.
You'll forget. Say it now.
I was just going to say, but you're also someone who's always, don't get me anything, don't do anything, even for my birthday, even for Christmas,
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
which makes it tricky.
not to get it too deep, that's typically because um yeah, it's a whole different episode as to why that is. Part of it is because I'm particular, right? I gave up on wanting presents after the umpteenth sweater that was bought for me that doesn't fit,
Right.
right? Or the I've specifically asked for one thing and it's not what I got, right? So I just stopped because I have pretty much everything I need or want. So there really isn't a reason in that sense, right? But that doesn't mean that it's not something that would be nice to have marked, right? Like have the
Mhm.
occasion marked or something. And I do. I appreciate it when people get me gifts. Um, but yeah, unless it's something specifically that I've asked for that I've received, it's typically not on the money,
Yeah.
right? And so, um, yeah, I've taken that approach for a long, long time, right? And part of it was out of the kids, and part of it is because I know how important it is for you. I'd rather the attention is on someone that appreciates it or knows how to appreciate it. So I'd rather that money and effort is diverted elsewhere because it doesn't matter, right? To a large degree. So, um, yeah, I think for me in situations like that, it's just to, yeah, I mean, let's use Valentine's as an example. Yeah, it'd be great to have someone surprise me with something like that, right?
With
But
something like what? Just acknowledgement
well,
without
just say, yeah,
appreciation.
just something. Well, let's call it like something romantic, or just something as a surprise. But I don't know how to define that because it's never been an option for me, right? And not that it's never been an option, but it's in my head. That's never how it's been framed, right? So yeah, that's
Mm.
it's a tricky one to answer.
Yeah. So maybe it's then again just you're brainstorming, collaborating with your family,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of creating that. I know when I was trained to be an Imago couples therapist, we had to go through, as part of my training, we had to go through
Yeah.
as a couple. And one of the things that we had to do was a behavior change request.
Hmm.
And so it was essentially saying, here are three things I would love for you to do for me. And we do three things because the other person might not be able to or want to fulfill that request.
Yeah.
And so the three gives them an option, but it could be something like that. And we actually we had a jar and we color coded. I think I had blue and you had yellow or something like that.
Hmm.
Just when we thought of nice things that we would appreciate the other person do. It could be, I don't know, a back massage, take the garbage out. It could be anything like that.
Yeah.
Those little requests. We would put it on a piece of paper and throw it in the jar. So then the other person would pick, like I would pick your yellow paper out when I had time and was able and wanting to do something nice for you.
Yeah.
So that could be a nice way too. And throughout the year, it's not just
Yeah. Just one and done.
Valentine's,
Yeah.
but maybe that's a Valentine's activity to do. And then through the year, yeah, just picking out some of those
I think it's a great
re
idea. Yeah. Because then
requests.
it's a practice. It's not a, it's something that is part of your everyday life. And then the celebration of it on a single day is more of a special recollection of it or call out of it as opposed to an obligation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Do we cover anything left unsaid?
That's cool. I think we covered. I mean, it's just an important reminder, right? Like I said, there's no right answer. It's just in your situation, figure out what works best, but also look at opportunities to try and improve things, right? Because I think there's a lot that parents can do to, we talk about a lot, but to model how to properly celebrate others in the family or show love or show gratitude. And that to me is probably a better way to approach a specific day like Valentine's Day than just, flowers and chocolates and whatever other cliches out there, right?
Well, and that's just it.
Yeah.
That, yeah, make it. So think about how you're going to make it more meaningful and intentional, not just a card and a chocolate bar or
Yeah.
something, right?
Totally.
Awesome.
Cool.